Hey guys, Keep Rockin' 404 here. Now, this year marks the 10th anniversary of Green Day's rock opera, American Idiot.
This is one of the greatest albums to come out since 2000, as well as, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums of all time. It's a theatrical album with memorable songs and a great storyline. It holds some of the most recognizable tunes in recent memory, with songs like Wake Me Up When September Ends, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Holiday, and the punk rocker title track, American Idiot. On June 11th of this year, Kerrang magazine released the tribute album of American Idiot celebrating this anniversary. It features a wide variety of artists covering all the songs on Green Day's 7th effort. So, just how will these bands pay tribute to an album so near and dear to my generation's heart? Spoiler alert, they don't. This is my review of Kerrang Does Green Day's American Idiot. So we start off with the opening track, American Idiot, covered by One Direction Wannabes' 5 Seconds of Summer.
Now you just know this band is bad when they aspire to be like fucking One Direction.
So, let's take a listen. The first thing I notice is a straight up butchering of the chord progression. It's fitting that a pop group like this would do something like that. Not to mention, the whole time the singer is just going way overboard, and not in a good way. The whole time he sounds like he just has a porcupine stuck in his ass. You can at least tell they tried to do this one justice, so I don't find myself hating this cover like I thought I would. Though it is interesting to note, they censored the word faggot, but they didn't censor fuck.
See, kids? This is how to be edgy without being offensive. 5 out of 10.
Next, we get to the epic 9-minute and 5-movement Jesus of Suburbia, which is my personal favorite on the original album. But this time, it's covered by Rise to Remain. Now, this one should be easy to butcher.
I'm the son of rage and love, the Jesus of Suburbia.
Yep, they definitely succeeded at that.
Wow, this guy really doesn't seem to have any respect for the song he's covering. He just doesn't have the voice for a song as theatrical as this. Other than that, though, they do nothing to change the song up or put their own spin on it. Seriously, they just play the song exactly as it was, but with worse production and a mediocre vocalist. Well, except for the final movement. They kinda changed the sound of that.
And when I say worse production, I really mean it. Just listen to how they made the third movement I don't care sound. This cover is certainly not as epic as it should be. 3 out of 10.
After this, we get to Holiday, covered by The Blackout. The first thing I notice is how forgettable they made the original riff sound. Also, the vocalist doesn't have a very good voice. But honestly, there's not much to complain about with this one. That is, until around the middle section of the song, when they put a fucking breakdown in the bridge section.
Seriously, breakdowns are fucking retarded, especially when they're added pointlessly in the middle of cover songs. For me, this totally ruins the cover, which wasn't all that great to begin with. 4 out of 10.
And now we get to the Boulevard of Broken Dreams cover, by Neck Deep. I do have to applaud these guys on actually trying to put their own spin on this song in a way that makes sense, but... God, listen to that guy's voice, it is so fucking bad.
I'm walking down the line that divides me somewhere in my mind, on the borderline of the edge and where I walk alone.
It's like one of those, I'm punk, but my music totally doesn't support it kind of vocalists.
And that coupled with how lame the production sounds in this really makes this cover shit. The vocals are so overproduced, but everything else is way too noticeably underproduced.
It's awful. 2 out of 10.
So now we get to Are We the Waiting, covered by You Me at 6. The original version of this song is a beautiful song, with a very open and kind of atmospheric sound. It serves as a slow build-up to St. Jimmy. This cover actually isn't awful. They certainly made the song rather forgettable, as the chorus isn't quite as hard-hitting as it originally was, but you know what? I don't hate this one. I actually kinda like it. The vocalist has a nice voice that complements the simplicity of the song, which is more than I can say for everything before this one.
Are we are the waiting and screaming. Are we are the waiting.
7 out of 10.
And so, following the original album's order, we get to St. Jimmy, covered by one-hit wonder band Bowling for Soup. their hit is actually pretty terrible. But people tell me that all their other stuff is actually really good. I never listen to it because I hate this guy's voice.
But to be fair, they totally bring the right amount of energy on this one.
St. Jimmy's coming down across the alleyway, up on the boulevard like a zip gun on parade. Lights of a silhouette, he's insubordinate, coming at you on the count of 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can tell that they have a lot of respect for Green Day from this cover. They give it their own sound without going too overboard.
The original St. Jimmy is the most theatrical punk song I can think of, and this cover isn't too far from it. 8 out of 10.
Now we have Give Me Novocaine, covered by Escape the Fate. The original song is calming and honestly kind of depressing, but it's got one hell of a loud and catchy chorus. This one, not so much.
Drain the pressure from the swelling.
This band's singer sounds so damn whiny, it just comes off as emo. The choruses have this slight metalcore spin to them with the guitar line, and it's way too noticeable and really annoying.
So nothing outright offensive about this one, but it's pretty weak. 4 out of 10.
Oh lord, I haven't been looking forward to this next one. This is She's a Rebel, covered by Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse is one of the worst fucking bands I can think of, and their lead singer, Ronnie Radke, is such a douchebag. And oh god, does that show in this cover.
She's a rebel, she's a saint, she's a salt of the earth, and she's dangerous.
His voice is just so awful here, it's hilarious. And the fucking bass drum sounds like a goddamn pillow. But then the worst fucking thing happens.
What's up, Kerrang? How you doing? We're gonna do like every other band and put a breakdown in the middle of a fucking cover song. Go.
Look, I know this was meant to be a joke, and I honestly thought it was funny when I first heard it, but then I realized, this is a fucking tribute! He shows that he doesn't have a shred of respect for the original song or the album. So why is he even on it? 1 out of 10.
Now we have Extraordinary Girl, covered by Frank Iero. I don't know any of his solo stuff, but I do like My Chemical Romance, or at least a little bit, which was a band he was associated with. Well, let's take a listen. What the fuck? I mean, I guess this is supposed to be experimental? Not the place for that, dude. God, this honestly just sounds creepy. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. 2 out of 10.
Coming up next is Letter Bomb, covered by Lost Alone. I love the original Letter Bomb. It's the song that shows the big twist of Jimmy being an alter ego of the Jesus of Suburbia. The original's a great rocker for the album. This cover, however, not so much. This vocalist is just so bad. He sounds like he's desperately trying to hit notes that he can't. With that said, though, the instrumental is close to the original, so this isn't all around awful. It actually wouldn't be bad if not for this guy's voice.
4 out of 10.
Alright, now we get to the song that everyone and their mother knows, Wake Me Up When September Ends, this time covered by The Defiled. This one can't be that hard to fuck up, right? Right?
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
So as it starts, we get an actually interestingly orchestrated version of the original. But then the guy starts singing, and I begin to wonder why he even has a job as a vocalist with such a bad singing voice. But then I find out why.
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! realize what you're fucking covering? This is a song about Billy Joe Armstrong's fucking dad dying. And this is how you pay tribute to it? God, I should have expected that, but it still pisses me off. This is definitely the worst cover on the album. 1 out of 10.
After that monstrosity, we get the other 5-movement 9-minute epic on the album, Homecoming, covered by Lonely the Brave. Now I love the original Homecoming, it's close to Jesus of Suburbia as my favorite off the original album, but this cover just seems so careless. This vocalist is just not capable to take on a song like this. It really falls victim to all the same problems of Jesus of Suburbia, so I'd just be repeating myself to talk about it again. But I do want to say this. Homecoming is the song where the character of Saint Jimmy kills himself. Metaphorically, of course, but still. In the original album, that moment is really hard-hitting and kind of emotional.
Saint Jimmy comes without any shame. He says we're fucked up but we're not the same. Mom and Dad are the ones you can blame. Jimmy died today. He blew his brains out into the bay.
Seriously, that moment gives me chills every time I listen to this song. In the cover, however, the vocalist just makes it sound like an everyday occurrence.
So Jimmy comes without any shame. He says we're fucked up but we're not the same. And Mom and Dad are the ones you can blame. And Jimmy died today. He blew his brains out into the bay.
It's like, oh, Jimmy died. No one cared about him anyway. Yeah, this is pretty lame. 3 out of 10.
And finally, we have the closer, What's Her Name, covered by New Politics. This is the song where the Jesus of Suburbia completely loses contact with What's Her Name and forgets her name. It's a fantastic closer. Well, for the original album. In this one, however, it's honestly just forgettable.
Thought I ran into you down on the street. Then it turned out to only be a dream.
They definitely tried, which is good, but the vocalist is really bad. Plus, he says photograph weird.
Photographs.
Now, they totally changed the tempo for most of the song, and it just sounds shitty.
But yeah, the main problem is that the vocalist is just awful. 2 out of 10.
Lastly, they have 2 bonus covers of songs from Green Day's breakout album, Dookie. I'll keep these reviews short. First, there's Welcome to Paradise, covered by State Champs. The vocalist is shit. Simple as that. 3 out of 10. Then they have Basket Case, which is my all-time favorite Green Day song, as well as one of my top 10 favorite songs. This time it's covered by the Swellers, and you know what? It's really good. It's got a good pop-punk feel that captures the spirit of the original very well. 8 out of 10.
So, all in all, this tribute is terrible. They picked horrible bands to pay tribute to one of the greatest albums of my generation. From horrible scene bands to annoying Blink-182 ripoffs, most of this album is awful. If not for a few good covers, this album would be completely abysmal. But as it stands, it's still pretty bad. I'd have to give it a 3 out of 10.
I want to listen to Green Day.
Yeah, me too. Well, I just hope Kerrang learns from this experience and never does another horrible tribute album again. What? Oh, this isn't their first tribute album? Wait, then what else did they do?